All right, welcome back to the home of original sports perspective. From our couch to yours, this is the couch writer Raven Jermaine Lockett, and behind me is a pain in the butt son of mine, Cameron Lockett. Today, we have on the show Little Roger, Bubba Sparks. We got Braden Sparks. He just creeped in. This is the Couch Writer Report Kids Edition. We had some questions we wanted to ask these young guys, and then we'll just get some opinions about the Raiders game. What's going on, man? Little Bubba, how you doing?
Good.
So what are you into, man?
Madden 22.
Oh, you on, man? What's your squad? What's your team?
Cowboys.
Oh, he uses them boys. Cameron, what do you think about them boys?
They are trash.
Ugh.
Oh, hey, Dak did good.
Dak looked like a beast on Thursday night. I don't know if you watched that, but yeah, so my man plays football as well. He's a defensive tackle for what's the name of your team? The Monarch Spirit?
Yeah, Monarch Spirit.
We won't go into what their record is right now.
0.
0-2, man. 0-2. Anyway, I forgot to pass the collection plate. For those of y'all tuning in, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Today, we want to talk about the Chiefs. Excuse me, not the Chiefs. We ain't talking about the Chiefs. Sorry, it's not happening. We're talking about the Ravens and the Raiders on Monday Night Football. The matchup is going down, and we want to get Lil Roger's thoughts on it because he's been looking up some stats on these things. We had a couple of questions, so we'll just go ahead and jump right in. So the first question is the Raiders' best weapon. What is the Raiders' best weapon, and why do you believe that?
I think their best weapon would either be Josh Jacobs or Henry Ruggs. But I think it would be Josh Jacobs because you have to have a good quarterback, and Henry Ruggs is fast. So if you want to get him the ball deep, you need a QB with a big arm. And I don't really like Derek Carr. And I like running backs more than wide receivers, and I think Josh Jacobs is just a better overall player.
Yeah, I think Jacobs is a scary threat when it comes to the Ravens. I mean, they're just going to come through and be he's quite the thumper. And if they set up the play action right, because they've been using this guy pretty well, they're going to be able to get that ball to Darren Wallace and Ruggs down the field. So I definitely think Jacobs is a factor in this game, and I don't know if we're going to be able to handle it because, we had the Monstars up front. We got Calais Campbell handling business. We got a few other monsters out there, but, hey, it can go either way. But I believe that Baltimore has a game plan for Joshua Jacobs. Hang on, we got some people chiming in here. I want you to see the things that they are popping off with on the side here. So GoBody says 100 to your answer there. He liked your answer. So, all right. And then here is a question from him. It says, ask him who his favorite player on the Ravens defense and offense. Okay. You have favorite players on my team?
Lamar.
Oh, he likes Lamar. Al Freaky. Big trust. Whoop, whoop. Yes, sir. Okay. You got one on defense?
I don't really know any of their defensive players.
Oh, disrespectful. Oh, man. I could turn the camera around and show you a couple of legends that were on the defense. So over here we got
in the past.
Yeah, in the past. So
anytime. Then it would be Ed Reed.
Okay, yeah, you got Ed Reed right here, the beast right here. That's the GOAT of all safeties, and then you got the GOAT of all linebackers. That's Ray right there. It's good times, man. Good times. Okay. So, of course, my favorite offensive player all time for the Baltimore Ravens is not it's not a normal name. It is Jamal Lewis. It's just the way that he used to run, and those legs used to keep churning whenever he would get contact. It's just like, okay, he had contact. Let's go back. Yeah, he would get contact. And he would keep those legs a churning. So it was pretty impressive to see what he could do there. He just plow through people. All right, and then let's go to question number 2 here. Oh, I guess I got to answer the defensive one. My bad. So I guess best defensive player all time would be of course, Ed Reed. I love me some Ed, and I love me some Ray too. Don't get me wrong. Ed and Ray were just dominant leaders. They could get people to do anything around them, and they just gelled very well with their team. Let's see. For currently, right now, my favorite defensive player is Marlon Fruit Punch Humphrey. Yeah, I love Fruit Punch. The dude just finds a way to get the ball out, and everybody sees it coming. As soon as the ball is caught by the wide receiver, Marlon just comes through and just wham, knocks the ball out. So it's pretty awesome. Let's go to another question for you here. So let's see. We talked about the Raiders' best weapon. We said, okay, it might be Josh Jacobs or Henry Ruggs. Ruggs, because of that speed, he can just get behind the secondary, right? He just oh, man, I bet you used him in Madden before, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a burner, man. He get all the way downfield. If there's any questions for those people who are just hopping into the room, please go ahead and say what's up. Oh, we got Devin Dukes here that says, what's up, guys? Let me go ahead and just pop that on there. He said, what's up, guys? So hopefully y'all just tell him what's up. Cameron, say, hey, what's up to Devin?
What up?
Okay. And then GoBody says, Ed Reed, good answer. So for sure, Ed Reed, yeah, on target, on point, man. Ed Reed is definitely he is the greatest safety all time, in my opinion. You know, I'm sorry that, other people have other opinions of Sean Taylor, of so many others that could come up there. I mean, Palomalu, I'm sorry, he can't even hold a candle to what Ed Reed can do. Palomalu was a very... You don't even know who Sean Taylor is.
Yeah, I do.
Who's Sean Taylor?
He's a Ravens football player.
No, son, you're on the other side of the interstate. You're on the wrong side of the interstate. This guy was a Washington football team player, we'll say. And he died before he became really great. But he had a couple of good seasons. And based on his trajectory, everybody thought he would be the greatest safety all time. But he ended up passing. And it's kind of like rappers. Some rappers, they're not that great when they're alive, but then they get highly celebrated after they pass. So just saying. Anywho, let's move on to question number 2 here. How would you stop Lamar Jackson, man?
I would want to take his wide receivers out of the situation, so get them covered really well, and then worry about him running the ball and have someone just stay with Lamar the entire time.
Okay, so you want a QB spy on Lamar and just play man coverage on the receivers?
Yes.
Okay, it's been done. I've seen a couple of coordinators actually do that, but I think Gus Bradley has he's got a formula. And the formula he used, and Gus Bradley, I don't know if you know, but he is the Raiders defensive coordinator, but he's also the same guy that stopped Lamar Jackson in the playoffs in 2018. And so it was like, hey, this same guy's here. I don't know if he's going to come with the same formula, but he had a whole bunch of safeties on the field. Just basically put tons of safeties on the field. And then he decided, like, okay, well, we don't need our most of our linebackers. He replaced those with safeties. That way they had the speed to run with Lamar the entire time. It was a pain in the butt. Here we go. Devin has a question. Let's go ahead and chime in. Let's see what Devin says. This is cool. What Raiders player do you trust to spy Lamar? So if you had to choose a Raiders defensive player to spy Lamar, who would you choose?
The guy that you just said.
Huh? No. Gus Bradley is the defensive coordinator, son.
I have no idea any Raiders defensive players.
But they got a couple of fast ones on there, man. And so we'll pull up a few just to give you an idea of who's on there. They got a safety they got a corner named Trayvon Mullen. They got a couple of guys named Nate Hobbs. And then, so I'm looking at the depth chart right now. So if I were going to spy Lamar, I would do it with one of my faster players, but somebody who knew how to break down, wrap up, and tackle. So I would say I'd go ahead and send a rookie after him, Trayvon Morey. I'd send him after Lamar and keep him more just as a spy. Honestly, I would just stick him sitting right next to my middle linebacker and just waiting for Lamar to make that move. Let's see. What did Devin say something else? No. Okay, so he said who you trust. So would you want a bigger guy to chase down Lamar, maybe a defensive end or no? Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, Baltimore has a defensive end / outside linebacker that runs just as fast as a wide receiver. And we got a guy named his name is he got drafted. His name was
But
Jay.
not as fast as Tyree.
Yeah. His name was Jason Owe, but we call him Adafe Owe. That's his real name now. But when we drafted him, checked out his 40 time, this dude's running like 4.4, 4.3 time frame as a defensive end outside linebacker. He could run with Lamar. But, of course, Oakland I don't know if Oakland got that type of speed on the line. So I think, they definitely got to roll with a safety. So, anywho, what type of stats did you look up today when you were checking out the Las Vegas Raiders?
Speed.
Okay. So you wanted to know who was your burners. Okay, so you knew Ruggs was. Was there anybody else that was a particular burner on there?
No.
Did you see any former Baltimore Ravens that are on the Las Vegas Raiders now?
Oh, no idea.
Oh, man. So they got like this guy named Willie Snead over there who used to play for Baltimore, and he was Lamar's favorite target, or at least one of his favorite targets in the slot. And so now he actually plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be kind of weird seeing those guys in a different uniform. You got Yannick Ngakoue, who used to play for the Ravens last year. And there's a few other guys, but for the most part, those are the big names. And Darren Waller is a former Baltimore Ravens player. He used to play wide receiver for us. And he moved over to tight end, but then he had some drug and off-the-field issues and stuff. He ended up getting cut. And that was his wake-up call. And so once he got that wake-up call, this guy went over to Las Vegas, or went over to Oakland at the time, and just tore it up. I mean, he just ended up being the number one target for Derek Carr. They run the whole offense through him. They actually put him in motion all over the formations to see what he can do. Have you watched Darren Waller play before?
No.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Your dad told me you was looking up stats like crazy.
Hey, my dad's at work.
He said, you know what, the Ravens, you said the Ravens. Okay, so one thing he did say was that you said the Ravens would lose to the Raiders. So, okay.
No, I didn't.
That's what I heard. That's what it was.
No.
We're going to review the tape. I'm going back. I'm going back to the records here.
Hey,
So,
you know my dad.
He said.
You know him.
We scrolling up right here. Bubba wanted to talk about the Ravens versus the Raiders matchup. He thinks the Raiders will win. That is exactly what he put down. It is signed, sealed, delivered at what time was that? That was 9:06 this morning. That is why you are on this podcast right here, right now.
Just so you know, he wanted to wake you up, and that's why.
I don't know what's up, man. He just trying to start some mess, little pot stir. Anyway, he pot stirred and decided to go to work. Devin has another question here. So a question for you right here. It says, good answer, Couch Rider. I just got here. Is Raj a Raiders fan?
Oh, no.
No, he's a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys fan.
Cowboys, baby.
Yeah, man. I don't know what. I mean, y'all ain't.
Why didn't you hear that, Devin?
They hadn't won nothing since way before you was born. 1996, man. That's the last time the Cowboys did anything special. It was bad. I don't get me wrong. I was a Cowboys fan. I got saved. I was healed, blessed in the black and purple over here. But it took a while. You know what I'm saying? It took me a long, long time. So 1999 is when I became a full-on Ravens fan. Cowboys was America's team back in the day. I was growing up. I didn't know no better. But you know what? You know better. They ain't won nothing. Back then, it was America's team. They had rings, and they had Michael Irvin, and he was magnificent back then, and he scored a first down and just be going nuts and throwing the ball every which way, not handing it to the referees, being a jerk. I love this guy. He's awesome. But he got hurt. Once he got hurt, that was it for me. That was my favorite player, and I went to the Ravens and haven't looked back. Been a Ravens fan since then. Excuse me, sir. We live right now. You just snacking away. Can you go exit the stage right here? Thank you. We got live snacking going on over here behind the scenes. It goes down with the kids, man. It goes down with the kids. All right. So with the Cowboys, what do you think their record is going to be today? Or excuse me, at the end of the year?
I have no idea.
So they got 17 regular season games. Do you think they are going to win more than 12? No. You don't even believe in your own team? Everybody is like, how about them Cowboys? It's our year. Yeah. Woo. We the bar. I mean, I'm talking about I went to one of them Cowboys games and they clowned me up and down for wearing Ravens stuff. And then, of course, the Ravens ended up losing. It was, just one of those days that, y'all got the best of us. It's okay. It's fine. But it was a very long walk back to my car. It was 27 minutes of everybody dancing, talking about, we them boy. We them boy. I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, so, all right. So you said not more than 12. Okay. More than 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're saying somewhere between 10 and 11 games is what we're thinking of. So let's go ahead and pull up the Cowboys schedule since you didn't study the Raiders like I thought you would study the Raiders. I'm just saying. Boy, you're gonna turn this into a whole different show here. All right, so we're gonna pull up Dallas Cowboys schedule. And do you know the schedule? Do you know? Do you have it? Okay. All right, we need you to do some homework because next time you hop on this show.
I just know next week they're playing the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
They better win that one.
Okay, so tell me what happened this Thursday. What happened with them boys and them Bucks? Did you watch the game?
I watched.
Watch the game? What are you doing? What you doing? Watching?
I watched half of it. I don't
Minecraft or something.
I don't stay up that late.
You don't stay up that late. You talk to your parents, tell them, "Hey, mom, dad, the boys is on."
I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay, old man. Okay, you had to get down, go to sleep real quick, huh? Okay, so you got the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. I'll go ahead and tell you what happened. Brady came out there slinging it, and then he might have thrown a couple. Yeah, he threw a couple picks. There was some fumbles, some turnovers. Me personally, I feel like if if a team turns the ball over 3 times in a game, they deserve to lose. Well, the refs didn't think that way. So at the end of the game, there might have been a pass interference call right there, and it screwed a lot of things up. So to be honest with you, I feel like them boys should have won the game. So don't get me wrong, like Brady he the GOAT. We ain't gonna talk about the road, how he got there, but that game should have been the Cowboys. I'll be honest with you. It's just but y'all can go ahead and cry it out. Wife's a huge Brady's fan. She's in here yelling Brady right now in the background. But I feel like them boys should have won that game. They played their hearts out. They came through. Dak looked like he could actually claim this MVP status that everybody keeps talking about. I could not believe that everybody's talking Dak for MVP, but the way he played on Thursday night looked pretty solid. So against the Chargers, do you know anything about the Chargers?
Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen.
Okay. You know the name?
I know a few.
Who's the quarterback?
Justin Herbert.
Okay. You know how he started?
No.
Man, this dude was sitting on the sideline. Nobody trusted the dude, right? So he's sitting on the sideline. One of my favorite quarterbacks is actually supposed to start this game against the Chiefs. The docs go over and they say, hey, let's go ahead and give you a little injection. And they puncture my guy's lung. Puncture his lung. Take him out the game. Tyrod Taylor's out for the game. And they say, hey, Justin's sitting here like hanging out, reading at a clipboard, like, yeah, hey, what's up? Hey, you got to go face the best quarterback in the league. Huh? Okay. Comes in there, balls out, takes the job, and just ends up being one of the best quarterbacks in the league with the best touch on the ball in his rookie year. Granted, they just those games they lost. Majority of the games they lost by 3 points. Anywho, let's talk about Devin says he actually has something to say here. So Devin says, I was impressed with the Cowboys passing game. I do think they would give Zeke some more carries, even against a stout front seven. They could have controlled the clock and kept the ball out of Brady's hands. What do you think on that?
I mean, yeah.
You are really full of detailed analysis today. You're killing me, man. My audience is like, who'd you bring on the show? Oh my God! Lord, just go ahead. At least sit up in the chair, let the audience see you here. Apparently, yeah. At least they'll see the cute kid on here. Maybe give us a hit, drop a like button or something. Cause you're like, yeah. Oh my gosh! So this dude. Okay, so in the beginning of the game, the man had about 3.3 yards per carry is what he was doing through the first half. They could have given him the rock ball, but he wasn't doing much with it. Do you believe that this is the same Ezekiel Elliott of the past?
Well, I don't know.
Is Zeke doing as good as he was before?
I don't know. I didn't watch many football.
What's going on? You're supposed to be a Cowboy fan. You're supposed to be a stat junkie looking up the Raiders. I'm gonna have to end this thing because you ain't giving me no type stat. I'm on a limb here, just trying to give you some low hanging fruit, and you just okay, low hanging fruit. Who is your favorite Cowboy?
Who's my favorite Cowboy?
Yeah,
CD Lamb.
CD Lamb. Okay. Why do you like CD Lamb?
I don't like Amari very much.
Okay.
Dak's okay.
But
Zeke's okay.
this is totally just so great analysis here. We're just throwing okays and non-okays next to these guys.
Okay.
So CD, did CD do okay on Thursday? Did you get to watch any of the highlights of the game?
CD did okay. I saw. Look, I didn't watch all of it.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me. CD had 104 yards, man. 104 yards and a touchdown on Thursday night. He looked pretty good. I'll be honest with you. It was a nice outing for Dak. It was a nice outing for CD. It was a nice outing for all the wide receivers for the Dallas Cowboys. Amari Cooper right now, he feels like he can't be stopped. He feels like he's one of the best in the league. In fact, he said it on Twitter. He said that I can't be stopped. Nobody can stop me. I'm the best wide receiver in the league. Now, if you rewind when he was with the Las Vegas Raiders, they were nice. He didn't catch two catches. Didn't have two catches, and then he goes to Dallas in a new system and comes and balls out. So here's a question for you. Will Dak Prescott stay healthy?
Hopefully. So, yes.
Okay. Okay, so he sustained a shoulder injury. That's what took him out last year. And he actually was running up the field on Thursday night, ended up sustaining a shoulder. Well, I think he rolled over on that same shoulder. Didn't flinch at all. Came back out, no problem. It wasn't even an issue. But with Dak healthy, do you think, even with let's just say they got their 10 to 11 wins, do you think that this is the year? Like most Cowboys fans say, this is our year. We going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah.
So you was one of those.
Yes.
Okay. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Like the Ravens, we hurting right now. We hurting. We got 4 running backs, so 3 running backs that were hurt. We don't sign everything off the flea market. I mean, we went through. We got Le'Veon Bell. We picked up a guy named Cannon from, I want to say, the Carolina Panthers. Gus Edwards is hurt. J.K. Dobbins is hurt. Justice Hill is hurt. All of them out for the year. And we got Latavius Murray, who just tweeted and got a job. I mean, I wish I could just go ahead and put a tweet out there when I'm a backup and get cut from a team and then just make $2 million out of nowhere. Just amazing. Just one tweet gets you a job. That's just fantastic. Anywho, so that guy gets a job. And then we got Le'Veon with a job. And then we got Devontae Freeman, who has a crazy injury history, who came over from New York, and he got a job. So, I mean, you want a job as a Ravens running back, just call Eric DeCosta, and he will hook you up. But you got to put something on Twitter first. So you tweet, saying something, I heard y'all was hiring or whatever, and Eric DeCosta will sign you up to be a Baltimore Raven. So, just know, hey, you're trying to make an easy couple of meals for the family and stuff, just go ahead and sign up, man. I'm a little too old. You might be in the age category. You might still have that speed to go ahead and do that. In fact, what position do you play in football?
Defensive line.
Defensive line. Okay, so what you need to do is get with my son and help him get his life together. Because, I mean, my son is sitting here slow dancing with the center. It's like, that's all that, I'm like, dude, I need you to use a couple of moves or something, get through there. And he just, he kind of just sit there. All right, so Burton Maitland. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming through. Make sure you hit that like button. Burton says, we'll just rely on Lamar as usual. He is referring to my comments about the running backs. We are broken right now. And we have a guy named Tyson Williams. I don't know if you've seen his tape, but dude comes from BYU. And he can ball. The guy can ball. So Well, I want you to go ahead and just go back and look at his tape. He has this side kick step, and I mean, when he gets in the backfield and makes this cut, he's gone. He is gone. He actually reminds me of a younger Devontae Freeman. So let's go back to Burton Maitland over here. He says we'll just rely on him on Lamar as usual. You think that's the case? You think on Monday Night Football that the Ravens are just going to run it all day through Lamar?
No. You don't want him to get tired, and he's a quarterback. He has an arm. He could throw the ball. You got tight ends. You have wide receivers.
He, you know what? Devin just said something pretty good here. You know, and he said, "Has Raj seen Lamar Jackson play? What does he think of Lamar?" So you kind of answered that just now. You said Lamar's a quarterback. I appreciate you. That shows so much how much respect you have for the team. Because what does everybody call Lamar? What do they normally call him? You don't even know what do they disrespect Lamar and say he is? They don't call him a running. They don't call him a quarterback. What do they call him?
A running back.
They call him a running back. And you just call him a quarterback. So I appreciate you, man. So do you ever watch Lamar get to play? You seen his highlights?
I've seen highlights.
Okay. What do you think?
He's good.
Yeah, he's a freak, right? They named a video game. I mean, they gave him last year's cover on the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty good. He probably would have had another repeat performance if it wasn't for COVID, man. If it wasn't for COVID.
No one likes COVID.
Yeah. COVID took Lamar down. He just wasn't the same. I mean, then he comes out and he has to, go poop in the third, or was it end of the third or fourth quarter or whatever, comes back from the poop and throws a touchdown. I mean, he was okay. And Baltimore just had to run the entire offense to him last year, but I'm hoping that that's not the case this year. Yeah. On Monday Night Football, dude might actually come out and see if he can run it a bit. But like I said, I think the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, he was the same guy who ran the Chargers defense back then. I think he's going to come out with a similar way of trying to stop Lamar by shoving a whole bunch of safeties on the field. So I think they're going to try and make Lamar throw. You think that's a pretty good strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was trying to stop Lamar, honestly, it would just be with the club in his sleep. That's the only way I could ever think about stopping Lamar. But these defense coordinators, they think a little bit smarter than that. They just slightly smarter than what I can bring to the table there. So, but you've seen Lamar play, and I mean, he just gets out of everything here. So let's see. I'll get to that question in just a second, Burton. There was one other question that we had on our end. Let me make sure, because I put down a bunch of questions. So you remember last year we talked about COVID and how COVID sucks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember last year, nobody was in the stands, right?
Yeah.
It was like nobody there, and so now the Raiders are going to have so many people in the stands, probably close to 70,000 people in the stands. How do you think that's going to impact the game on Monday Night Football?
I think that the fans haven't impacted, and it depends on what player it is. Like some players could take it as a boost and want to try to win and make them happy, or win and make them shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to silence that off. You got to silence that crowd because they're going all nuts. So, of course, on which side of the ball would it be more loud? So if the Ravens offense is on the field, is it going to be loud?
Yeah.
Okay. And if the Ravens defense is on the field, is it going to be as loud?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know.
It's because
I think they have a better offense than defense.
Oh, the Raiders offense is going to be at work. So when the Raiders offense is working, everybody tries to quiet down. So the quarterback can call the audibles, can do everything they need to do to make sure this play is set up right. But of course, if the Ravens offense is on the field, then of course the crowd is going to go nuts and they're going to be setting off decibel levels and going crazy, loud screaming, kids hollering, sirens and horns and everything going on, babies crying, you name it. Probably somebody's pinching their kid in the audience right now to get the decibels higher in that game. That's what's going to happen on Monday Night Football. So it's going to be a little problem for my guy Lamar here because of the stadium and the fans being there for the first time. So I don't know if you knew, but this is the first time the fans are actually going to be in this brand new stadium in Las Vegas. Have you seen what the stadium looks like?
No.
Okay. Do your parents have a Roomba?
No.
Oh, man. You got to go Google Roomba and then go look at the Raiders stadium. It looks just like a Roomba, like a big old Roomba, man. They hate it when I call it, but it's called the Black Pearl as the name of the stadium. But it looks like a full-on like huge-size Roomba or whatever. Anywho, let's go over to Burton here. Burton says, do you have a prediction for the Ravens?
For how many wins?
Well, we can go with how many wins, but we can focus on the game tonight, game on Monday night as well. So, let's go with the game on Monday night, and then we'll talk about the season. So, Monday night, do you have a prediction? Do you have a score prediction, and do you have a ultimate winner?
Score prediction 35-14 Ravens.
Woo! Okay. I appreciate you being a fan. Yes, sir. I like that. You know, the Ravens, they clown on the first game of the season. Like 2 years ago, they put up 59 points in game one.
Dang.
59 points. Balling, man. Last year, they destroyed Cleveland. They put up over 30 in that game. First game of the season, they just rocked people. I think 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago, they played the Buffalo Bills, and they actually destroyed them. I think they put up 49 points on that one. So
that's hard.
Yeah, they just ball, man. They get in there, they do it big. They just want to set the tone. But the thing is like it's the week one opponent. You had probably 6 months to study this week one opponent. You know, just like the Cowboys, they had 6 months to study Tom Brady. They still couldn't figure it out, but they had 6 months to study Tom. They knew who their week one opponent was. They should have been in there trying to figure out how to blitz Brady, how to get in his cookies and figure this guy out. And they only sent 4 the whole night. It was crazy. That's it. So, all right. So you said, what was the prediction? You said 34-14 or something? 34-14. Okay, y'all see it, folks. 34-14. On the season, what do you think the Ravens, how many games do you think are going to win?
I don't know how many. I think they're only going to lose about 2.
Okay.
2 or less.
2 or less. Hey, Burton or Devin, if y'all want to hop in on this discussion here, I'm going to go ahead and put this chat in the link here, and we can see if we can get 2 or 3 of y'all in the room. And then once you pop in, I'll go ahead and put y'all on. So we want to make sure we focus solely or mostly on this Raiders discussion, because we want to know what's happening with these Las Vegas Raiders, because I know they got some fast guys on it. They got that guy Nate Hobbs, and I think he runs like a 4.340, like just blazing fast. I imagine that in practice, him and Henry Ruggs are probably going neck and neck, holding each other. But Hobbs is a rookie, but he's been showing up. He's been fast, but he's also been hitting folks. I don't know if you saw him in preseason. He was just leveling people. It was crazy. So let's see here. So you said how many wins are your Ravens going to get here?
I didn't say how many wins. I said 2 or less losses.
Okay, I see you. 2 or less. So let's go through the schedule. We can see who are these teams going to be. So, of course, week 1, you said that's a W. Week 2, we face the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think?
I think the Ravens could win that.
Okay. So we're going to go through. We're going to just mark this down right here. You saying week 1, that's a W. Week 2 against the Chiefs, you saying that's a W, or are you saying that's an L? That's the toughest team in the league.
I don't know about that one.
Okay. So, we're gonna chalk it up as an L. Come on, we got to call it.
L.
Okay. All right. So you said we lose against the Chiefs. Week 3, we got the Lions of Detroit.
Win.
Okay. Stomping the Rams. Week 4, we got the Denver Donkeys.
That's a win.
You said that's a win?
That's a win.
I don't know. That defense is stout over there, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's a W. All right. So week 5, or actually, sorry, week 4. Let me go ahead and put you a little detail on there. So I don't know if you heard of Rashard Bateman, but he's one of our top wide receivers that we drafted this year. He was the top wide receiver, number 1 pick for the Baltimore Ravens, and he is coming back from injury. I think he's going to have a huge impact on that Denver Donkeys game. And they are going to, I know I'll get disrespectful with it, but it's Denver. I'm just saying, I lived there for, at least 5 years of my career. And, when they come to work in a full, they call it the Orange Crush Nation over there. They wear blue and orange at work. They have these crazy hats. I ain't never seen such a loyal, crazy, annoying fan base as the Denver Broncos. So yes, so sometimes I get a little disrespectful when I say Denver Donkeys.
Hey, at least my friends at school, they be saying my team's the Cowgirls.
yeah, they do have some names for them girls, for them boys. Anyway, so yes, Denver is going to be an exciting game. I cannot wait to watch that one. I wish I could go just drive over to Denver for that game because it's going to go down. I am excited to see Rashard Bateman come through and just ball out. Let's see. We have week 5 against the Indianapolis Colts. So they have a really stout defense, but I don't know if Carson Wentz can stay healthy over there. They got a really good wide receiver named Pittman. And I think a good stable of running backs between a guy named Taylor and a guy named Marlon Mack. I think Marlon Mack is the better running back in my opinion, but some people, they think differently, and then, Taylor's starting over there. So obviously some coaches think a little bit differently when it comes to them. So when it comes to the Colts versus the Ravens, who you got?
Ravens.
You got the Ravens? All right. So you think Lamar going to ball out over there like he did last year?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking that's okay. So you got that as a W. Like I said, Colts defense is beast. They have very solid options over there. And Burton says, "LOL, my nephew likes them. Think I'll watch it by him." So yeah, so the nephew likes the Colts, and sometimes it's fun to watch the game with the kids because you don't know what the reactions are. With my son, huge Chiefs fan, so week 2 we'll be sitting there watching it, and he is probably the worst trash talker I've ever met in my life. It is annoying. Sometimes you just want to push him off the couch because you're just like, you are really working my nerves. Like, who talks trash while they're losing a Super Bowl? Cameron talks so much trash while he's sitting there losing the Super Bowl. He's sending his mom gifts and memes and everything else, talking trash to her while they're getting destroyed. Like, man, you just don't. He never knows when to quit. He's just a never say die type of guy. Just something else. Anyway, so we were on the Colts, and now we are moving on. Remember, I was talking about those Justin Herbert Chargers, right? We played the Chargers. So y'all played them, and you're predicting. You said the Cowboys gonna beat the Chargers or no?
Yeah.
Oh, they gonna win? Okay. I mean, you mentioned the superstars that they got there. They got Bosa, they got Allen, they got crazy safeties everywhere. It's a squad. I think honestly they're gonna give Pat Mahomes a run for the money.
If we win, y'all are gonna win.
Oh, so it's just everybody just lining up to beat on the Chargers then. All right. I mean, hopefully Justin gets the message and recognizes he just need to go ahead and take a bye week or catch COVID or something on those lines where he just can't come to work that day and we'll be okay. You can come to work. It's a problem. It is a problem for that former Oregon Duck right there. All right. So Burton says, I think he says, oh no, he was saying Denver. His son is a huge Denver fan. So he's going to watch, or excuse me, his nephew is a huge Denver fan. So he's going to watch the game with his nephew. And I think Denver has everything together except for the quarterback situation. If they figure out who's got the better arm between Drew Lock and Teddy B? So Teddy Bridgewater, man, I liked Bridgewater coming out of college. I think he knows how to manage a game. And when you have a solid defense and a guy who can manage a game, then you're going to be just fine. But against the Ravens, it might cause you little problems when you got a helmet in your chest when you're trying to throw that ball. You just might just be a problem there for a second. Anywho, we are talking about the Chargers. So I think between the weapons of the Chargers, you're saying that's a W, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's our week 5 or week 6 matchup. You got that as a W as well. So we're just going through right now. The Ravens, according to you, are 5-1. Currently 5-1. So it's looking good. I'm liking how you're putting this schedule together. You know what? You and John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta, y'all got together. You did your thing. Y'all did the film study. I appreciate you. We looking good right now. 5-1 sounds great. All right, here we go. Next on the schedule is the Bengals. The Bengals. My bad. I'm getting disrespectful with these names. It just happens to just fly out of me. I'm just like out of nowhere. I'm like, hey, say the right thing. Say the right thing. Jermaine, say the right thing. Oh, Bengals. Okay, Bengals. My bad. Anyway, so we talking about Cincinnati Bengals, and they have this guy named Jamar Chase. I don't know if you saw Jamar Chase in college. This guy, I think he scored 20 touchdowns in 1 year. Just beast. But in the NFL, the boy got hands like feet. He can't catch a cold. He can't catch COVID. He is the vaccine. It's just that bad. He's just having a really bad offseason, a really bad preseason. I'm hoping that he shows up a little bit better than that. But what are your thoughts? Do you think the Bengals can beat the Ravens?
No.
No? Why not?
What corners do they have? Do they have a good defensive linemen, linebackers?
Okay, they're straight. It's just I think that they should have concentrated on offensive line in the first round and not went after the pretty shiny toy. Okay. All right. So Roger, I heard you have to get going. So we want to wish you well and wish them boys well. But I'm gonna keep the party going because I got some other things I want to talk about. I'm gonna finish the rest of the schedule, guys. You got the Ravens beating the Bengals, right? So we're gonna finish this up real quick.
Yep.
All right, so you got a W there. Okay, week 8 is. Let's look at that schedule. Week 8 is the Vikings. What you got? W or loss?
W.
All right, W. Week 9, we got the Bears.
Bears, that's a win.
That's the W. Okay, 10. We have the Steelers. What you got?
The Steelers, that's a win.
That's a win. Okay. Got 11. All right. That is, what did I say? 11? Oh, my bad. Okay. Sorry. 11 was the Bears. 12 was the Browns. So 12 was the Browns. What you got?
I think that may be a loss.
Okay, so 12 against the Browns. We're going to take a loss to the Browns. They are a souped-up, powered-up squad, so it is exciting. It's going to be an exciting matchup to see. So, I can't wait to see that one there. All right, week 13. We got the Steelers. What'd you say?
Win.
Win against the Steelers. Loving it. Oh, wait, week 14, we are facing off against the Cleveland Browns again. Did we get revenge, or they actually sweep? Did they sweep the Ravens?
I think that would probably be a win.
It's going to be a W. Okay, so the Ravens split. All right, week 15. Going against the Green Bay Packers. Aaron and company are actually coming to town. They're going to be at the bank. They can meet them outside the bank. That's M&T Bank Stadium. Sorry. Who do you got? Hey, sorry, Grant Hill. On a side note, Grant. Hey, I'm gonna send you that link. I need to talk to you about this 14-3 as well, so we can discuss the schedule. Anyway, yeah. So Green Bay, win or loss?
Loss.
Loss. Oh my gosh, disrespectful. You have no faith in the Ravens. You gave us 3 L's. You told us we weren't gonna have more than 2. Okay. Number 16. That's against the Bengals again. Win or loss?
The Bengals.
Hey, tell Jermaine, I'm sorry, I gotta run, man.
The Bengals gonna be a win. The Rams, I'm not sure about, and the Steelers is a win. I gotta go.
All right, man. So you just saying, all right, we yeah, okay, cool. I'll see you later, man. Let me send this link to see who else gonna hop in there. But I'll see you later. You take care, all right? All right, folks, we're going to keep this party going still. We got Grant Hill over here. We got Burton. Anybody else wants to actually join the feed, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and send this link right here. And you can just hop in. I will add you to the room. Little Roger, like I said, I was told he was a stat junkie. I'm going to be straight with you. They say, yo, he just studies the stats. He knows his game. He watches the film. Sounds like my guys have just been playing Madden and having a good time watching the Cowboys on the highlights because it's past his bedtime stuff. It's cool. It's cool. That's my guy. He's like a little nephew to me or whatever. But I appreciate him coming through, and I appreciate y'all being in the room right now. So let's just chat it up. Let's talk Ravens here. What you want to know about Monday night? What questions do you have? So Grant says we going 14-3. Let me put that on the screen, folks. Grant says we going 14-3. So I'm curious as to what teams are we going to lose to, Grant? Can you put those in the feed or even join the show? I would love to have you here, brother. Because you're going to chime in. Hopefully he chimes in about which ones that he's going to say we're going to lose to. And I am going to send this invite to a couple of my buddies so we can get everybody here and talk it up. Y'all just bear with me briefly. We'll just play the Jeopardy music or something. I honestly think that this is the year that we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm excited about it. I think even with all of the drama that is going down with the Baltimore Ravens and the running backs, I feel like there's an opportunity to beat these Chiefs. And the reason I say that is because we have one of their weapons that moves the chains in Sammy Watkins. I'm trying to put this little chat request on here, asking these folks to join me live. I got a couple of minutes here. I figured I wanted to just hang out with you. Okay. So we got 4 people in the chat. I would like to know who they are and what do you think of our Ravens matchup on Monday Night Football, and what do you think about the season record that Grant Hill has put in the chat stream? So definitely let me know what your thoughts are. For me, as far as Monday Night Football goes, Baltimore they're gonna have some problems. And the reason I say they're going to have some problems is because they're going to try to figure out how the new scheme that Greg Roman has placed into this offense, with the under the center and all that, and how Tyson Williams fits into this. Because honestly, when I was looking at him in college days, this guy matches best with what Greg Roman did before. If we're doing just regular read option, if we're doing any type of RPO, these things have already been used in his college offense. And I think that it will translate very well if Tyson Williams has to get the start and he goes into that offense and uses it the way that Greg Roman had it set up before. Now, if there's any nuances into this offense, then I think Baltimore is going to need to go more through the air and not put as much on this guy's back. I put a post out previously about Hollywood Brown. Here we go. Hey, Burton, can you hop on the show, man? All right, see Grant or Burton. If y'all want to hop on, like I said, just let me know and we can hook it up. Anyway, but I think they're going to have to go more to the air with Hollywood and with Sammy Watkins, because it's a little bit too much to put on a guy for his first NFL game to give him the full load. I mean, you could probably split with Murray and see how that goes. But honestly, I think you should go ahead and take to the skies just a little bit, just to open things up, to let us see what Lamar truly is capable of as well with these new weapons. Because Duvernay looks like he's hungry and looking for those opportunities. He is taking care of business in preseason games. Yeah, we saw Prochet during practice and during that final game when Tyler Huntley decided to go all the way off. This guy, lost his mind, as Prochet said. He went completely bananas. Well, if Prochet is going to go off, this will be a game to do it as well. But I think Duvernay really shows up in games. I think he wants to show everybody, like, hey, I can do everything I did when I was in Texas, and I can do it with Lamar. So I'm looking forward to them doing that as well. I think the real question is how do the Ravens stop Darren Waller? That is the real question here. I said, Burton says he's in his car waiting for his wife and would like to join the chat, but she'll be here in a minute. Okay. Yeah, do your thing, man. It's fine. It's cool. We're going to keep chatting it up here. Anyway, we're talking about Darren Waller. Now, I'm going to tell you two options that I think that would be cool if they implement it against Darren Waller. One, go ahead and Adafe Owe against Darren Waller one-on-one. I don't know what his coverage skills is, but he does speed to be able to keep up with Darren Waller. And then the other is put another speedster on him, but it's like a fourth-string corner in Chris Westry. I think Chris could actually be able to shadow this guy pretty well. I don't see much physicality when it comes to Chris Westry, but I'd like to see a little bit more, and this will be an opportunity to get physical as he's going to be facing off against a tight end. Former wide receiver, but ultimately a tight end overall. So that would have to put Baltimore in nickel packages and probably put Tavon Young on the bench, which would be kind of weird because he just came back. I say, hey, put him on a snap count. That way we can preserve Tavon Young anyway throughout the season, because I just don't see him being able to face off against Darren Waller when he's sitting at about 5'10". It just doesn't match up when you're facing against a big old giant like Darren Waller. I really wish the Ravens hadn't got rid of him, but at the same time, sometimes you need that wake-up call in order to be the best you can be in your career later on. And he took that wake-up call pretty serious and came back pretty hard with the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's see. Said Hump is an option. Yeah, I think Hump is an option on that. But at the same time, you got Henry Ruggs, you got Willie Snead. There's a few options out there that he's going to get a chance to cover. And I think they want to be able to have him on those outside options. He can cover inside. We've shown that last year, but I think the Ravens are more dominant when Hump is on the outside. You got AA on the outside, you got Hump on the outside, and you put Westry on the inside. I think that gives Baltimore a little bit more of an advantage to be able to cover everybody that is receiving the ball for the Raiders. Yeah, that's definitely a good option there. If anybody else has other options, you could probably put Elliott on it. I just don't think he has the speed to keep up. Neither does Chuck. Chuck is more of a cerebral type guy there. He knows the entire formations, the offense. But if he's sitting there worried about where Waller is lined up on the field and having to cover him versus worrying about where Waller's lined up on the field and being able to adjust the formation or adjust the defense to that guy or to that side, then I think he can focus on more than one thing. He can focus on more than one thing, but being able to focus on that one thing at a time, I'm all over my place with my lips and words and stuff. Words mean things. Anyway, having him with one focus is great. Having him with multiple focuses, such as worrying about wearing the green dot and also focusing on where Waller is because he has to cover him, could cause problems. That's what I'm trying to get out. I think, I got to give myself a little round of applause there. It took a second to get it out, but we got it out there, folks. We got it out. It was great. It's magnificent. All right, let's talk about other weapons that this guy has. Give me just a second. Okay. So I think the Raiders, they picked up a guy named Drake that used to play for the Cardinals. And I loved Drake when he was with the Cardinals. And I think when he came over from Miami, he started blowing it up over there. And I didn't understand why he ended up going to another team, because I thought he could do very well with the Arizona Cardinals. But now, as a backup, they have a pretty good 1-2 punch there, just in case anything happens to Jacobs. Burton says Washington, he's looking good too. Yes, I like our safeties. I really do. I think Washington is more of a ball hawk type safety, the one that I have been, I think the Baltimore Ravens have been looking for a little while now, because what has Baltimore been doing? Hiring double strong safeties. It's basically what it is, because Chuck is not a free safety. Chuck is a strong safety, and so is Elliott. So, Deshaun, I like Deshaun, but he is a strong safety because he likes to get down in that box and get dirty. And we saw what he did to Derrick Henry. He came down there, laid the wood, so we know the guy is solid against the run. We know Chuck is solid against the run, and Chuck is a cerebral guy, but he's not one of those guys who takes chances. You want a guy who's going to just take chances. Yes, there's an opportunity to make a big play, or there's an opportunity to to give up a big play, but you just stay stagnant, do exactly what coach told you to do, sure, you're going to keep a job. But are you going to be that one who's on the highlight reel on SportsCenter? You know what they say, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And usually if you're doing exactly what coach is telling you to do, you ain't taking those shots. You ain't taking those chances to make those big plays, to be on SportsCenter. You're simply sitting back saying, all right, cool. This is where coach put me. Okay, it worked out for the defense. We straight. But Ed was one of those guys who wasn't scared to give up. And I'm talking about Ed Reed. He's one of those guys who wasn't afraid to give up the big play. I think he gave up the most plays over 20 yards in NFL history. But it was because he was making so many other big plays and making pick sixes. And Baltimore was reliant on his ability to create a turnover for the team, whether it was causing a fumble, whether it was being out of position and making a huge play, reading the quarterback, and baiting and lurking on those quarterbacks. I mean, he even baited Peyton Manning multiple times. That's what Baltimore is kind of looking for, is that guy who's going to do that. And I believe Washington has that type of skill in his skill set, but he's got to be given the opportunity. Another guy who I really like is Geno Stone. And I'm really hoping Geno gets some reps and gets the opportunity to take those chances out there, because we saw it during the preseason, 2 picks in one game, one off of a tip, but the guy was hungry and he secured his job with that one game. That was pretty solid. All right. So Burton has a comment here. I'm going to put this up. I ain't going to even mention it. It says, losing Peters is going to hurt us this year. Okay. Yes. I say losing Peters does hurt us, but I'm going to bring up some history on y'all. Peters used to have a nickname, and his nickname was Burnt Toast Peters. And the reason they used to call him Burnt Toast Peters is because he had that Ed Reed mentality. He had that dog in him who wanted to chase and jump stuff. So, yes, Peters makes great highlights. But you go back to week 2 with the Kansas City Chiefs, or was it week 3 last year, with the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens, the reason that we got burned on the back end, and one, it was a miscommunication, and 2, Peters likes to try and jump routes. It's just the truth. It is what it is. And then he just, he liked to jump those routes. So, there's nothing wrong with trying to, make a play for your team, but just recognize when you don't make that play and you end up getting beat big on the back end, people are going to be looking at you like, what are you doing if you do it entirely too much? All right, Burton says he's got to go. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and smack that bell so you know what is going down when I do these things, folks. It just be random sometimes, but that's original sports perspective. This ain't news. This is just perspective. Like you want news and stuff, y'all go holler at Ingraven, because he's got all the sports news, because the dude is like watching Twitter like a hawk. I will put down some perspective and have some fun with it as well. And I'd love to do a show with him later on in the future, because we did 3 shows before, and that was a good time. But we'll get down on some more shows. Anywho, yeah, having Peters gone, it's okay. It's not we're not hurting as bad at the cornerback position as we are for the running back position. We are definitely hurting with the running back position. All right, Devin has something to say here. Let's talk, Devin. Let's see. Devin says, of all the running backs we just signed, do you think any stick around when our guys are healthy? Well, we paid Gus, so Gus is sticking. We paid Dobbins, he'll be in his 3rd year. And so he'll be sticking around. Justice Hill will be hitting them streets, I'll be honest with you. It's just like between injuries, lack of production, special teams ain't going to save you forever. Like I say, he was a running back. I think he's more than just a special teamer, but he just hasn't had the opportunities to shine, especially when you got a guy like Tyson Williams, who is really showing up. And if he shows up this season, Baltimore is going to be pretty solid. Do I think they keep Le'Veon Bell? No. Him and Dez Bryant going to be hanging around on the same couch. I'm going to be honest with you. Because Devin, obviously, he's, Le'Veon Bell is an okay back, but here's the thing. When it comes to offenses and running backs, you have to be able to gel, and it takes a while. And Le'Veon runs like this, like he's running steps. It's just a patience, and then he's trying to slide through a hole. And then it's patience again, and it's sliding through a hole. And patience again, and sliding through a hole. He's just staggering all around. It's just about the weirdest type of running I've ever seen. But it worked for Pittsburgh. It didn't work in New York, and it definitely didn't work in Kansas City. It was so bad in Kansas City that he came out disgruntled and tried to just throw shots at Andy Reid, and he never played for him again. I don't think it's going to work in Baltimore like that because that's not how Baltimore's offense is set up like that. It's the read option to where it's a one-cut run, you take it to the house type of thing. So anyway, so lunch break hot take. Hey, appreciate you coming through, man. Let's what's up. Yo, we got some stars in the house, man. Star power. Let's go. Hey, lunch break. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the feed here. Go ahead and follow that link. I'll put you in the room. And we can go ahead and get you on the show because I love to hear y'all's perspective, man. One thing about Lunch Break Hot Take, they talk about the Carolina Panthers and they talk about the Baltimore Ravens. And I was excited to listen in on their lives that the teams were playing each other during the preseason. I was waiting for shots. I was waiting for them to brawl. I was waiting for them to come through the screen and just be like, look here, brother. You can be talking all this stuff about my team, Just I wanted them to go in on each other. They love each other like brothers, so I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was respectful. But I love hearing the lunch break hot takes perspective because they definitely go in. I appreciate it. Everything that they do for the Baltimore Ravens YouTube Nation out there. I like to contribute. We have so many other good contributors out there, whether it be TTB, whether it be Engraven, whether it be was it KTSB or was it Keep That Same Energy. So it was like KTSE Sports Talk. This is one where I'm gonna be honest with you. So like me, sometimes I'll have the flare, I have the green screen and all that stuff. And y'all, I appreciate y'all. We had like 720 some subscribers or whatever. Keep subscribing. But KTSC has the knowledge. He has the knowledge. Some of us had the flair, but there are people out there with the knowledge. So if you see KTSC Sports Talk, this dude has the knowledge on it, and I think his podcast is even more interesting because he has a host on there who goes on there with him, so it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so we were talking about Peters, we were talking about safeties, we were talking about running backs. I think if any running back sticks around next year after everybody gets healthy, it's going to be Tyson Williams. That's nothing against Devontae Freeman. That's nothing against Murray. That's nothing against Bell. It's just those guys, they're here because nobody else is. I mean, I'll be honest, like I said it earlier. I mean, honestly, if I put the right tweet out there and say, hey, there's an opportunity to play in New Orleans, play in Baltimore, wink, wink, I might get a job. They might pick me up too. I'm just saying, I ain't the right weight, height, nothing like that. But you know what? They'll say, hey, we'll take you too because they signed everybody to the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. I'm trying to get out there. I might go ahead and get in the kitchen, just start eating, give me a big old spoon, and maybe in a couple of weeks, when everybody else starts dropping too, thanks to field conditions, training conditions, or everything else, or whatever excuses we're making for just this bad cloud of energy that's over Baltimore causing all these injuries. We're all going to get a shot. So y'all just make sure that y'all stay in shape because the Baltimore Ravens will be looking. Eric DeCosta will be looking to sign somebody in the future here. Anywho, who wants to join the show? Anybody want to get in on this? Like I said, you got the link. It's in the description right there. I'm going to make sure I got the right link here because maybe I'm not putting the right thing out there. Actually, so copy this to the clipboard. Okay, copying. It says copy. Place this thing right here. Oh, there it is. Lunch break, hot take. Let's go.
Ooh, what's up?
What's happening, man? Oh, man. I've been on here for, I don't know, probably about a good 30, 45 minutes, something like that. Glad you came through.
Yeah, man. I got a few minutes, man. What's good with you?
Yeah, man. Just sitting here, just enjoying life. I got a lot of things done this week. Because the week has been crazy with my son's tackle football practice. So it's like Tuesday, Thursday, and then like games are on Sundays, which really don't match well with me because of church and whatnot. But I'm finally able to get some time in to do this thing. I didn't want to do the green screen because I just like I ain't got time for that.
I hear you, man. Sometimes you just cut the camera on and you just go. That's how it is.
I feel you, man. I like that shirt, man. Let's see the whole shirt.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's just this one just has an icon on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
love the color of it, man. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Anybody want to get this merch? lbhtshow.com/shop. So get you one.
So I saw you climbing on the subscribers. You on the road to 1,000, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. You on the same path. You getting there.
Like 750 right now, right?
Yeah, I can't. Last time I checked, I think it's like 740 something. I can't quite remember, but yeah, you're right there, man. You right along with us. So
Yeah, like I'm getting after like 721. Like okay, we're getting there.
yeah. You know what? Like, you just keep putting it out there. People will find you. You know what I'm saying? You doing good stuff. You putting out good content. So
yeah, so I've been having some fun with it. The thing is, I didn't want to do like what everybody else was kind of chiming in on, and I think that's where my hits would normally come from because like I tried to veer away from talking about this guy right there.
Yeah.
Because it's the first thing that everybody reaches out for, like on ESPN and NFL Network and stuff. So like I'm trying not to, but I love my guy. I want to talk about him, but it's kind of I try to get to every other topic there is, whether it be offensive line, whether it be defensive tackles, whatever.
Sure.
I had a question for you though. What's the Ravens going to do now that Wolf is out this weekend? He's out on Monday.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders have much, man. Like they have some okay guys on the D line. Well, actually, I mean on the O line. I take that back. The O line, they used to be good. Like they had Rodney Hudson.
Didn't he?
Huh?
KO, he was over there, wasn't
he? KO he was over there. He's in Kansas City now. He's in Kansas City.
That's right. He went to the Jets and then Kansas City.
Yeah. Kansas City. They had another tackle, but I think they got rid of him too. I know they drafted Colton Miller. Richard Incognito is ruled out for this game as well.
What?
So yeah, their O line is shambles. I don't think we're gonna have any problems getting to the Derek Carr. Yeah.
So I'm thinking like if you put Matabike next to Campbell next to Williams, oh my!
I honestly think Matabike gets in there. I think Derek Wolf his snaps might get reduced when he gets back.
Yeah. I think for sure because Matabike has been hungry. The Matabeast has been doing every opportunity to come in. He's just shining. It kind of reminds me of how Gus is on the offense. Like, they sit there and they disrespect us left and right. They're like, all right, cool. We're going to put Ingram in. Okay, we're going to put in JK. Okay, and we're going to do this. And then all of a sudden, Gus is like, hey, so y'all going to put me in? They're like, yeah, we'll put you in for the run. He's like, boom, 20 yards. All right, Gus, knock it off. Sit down.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Now, I feel like Matabike is that same way. Like, all right, they're like, oh, we got Brandon Williams in. Okay, Big Baby's in. Okay, Calais is in. They're like, hey, they both injured. Matabike is like, hey, so I'm in? Okay, cool. Yeah. And I'm going to do my thing.
Well, Matabike had a first-round grade from a lot of draft experts coming out that year. So we were lucky to get him in the third round.
Yeah.
I think he just needs opportunity. Like the one of the things I don't like about this coaching staff is they don't really give those young guys a lot of playing time to really develop into those players that they can be.
Yeah, because they keep putting veterans on top of them. I'm like, look, bro, give these young bucks a chance. Like they can really tear it loose if you give them a chance. I mean, of course, if some of them don't shoot up cars and analyze stuff, like, bro, man, I mean, if he actually gets on the field and puts it down on paper, he's gonna be straight. I think Matabike, what I like about him was I think what I saw against in the Saints game. The way him and Malik Harrison just gel well together. Like you can see him and like it reminded me, and I hate to say this because that's a legend we're talking about, Siragusa and Ray Lewis. Like Ray could sit there and smack Siragusa on the butt and say, hey, move to the left, move to the right. And he, because Ray knew exactly where he needed to be, what gap needed to be filled. And I feel like the way that they played with each other was just like they didn't even have to talk. They just knew that chemistry. They were just like an instant chemistry they had against New Orleans to where they were causing fumbles.
Yeah, I mean that's what comes with experience and playing with each other. So I think this. Look, we win a lot of games, and there's a high expectation in Baltimore. So I think it's just a nervousness of having to go through those growing pains with the younger players, which is why they're always kind of hesitant to put young guys in there. That's why I didn't think Malik Harrison was going to get a lot of playing time this year because LJ Ford is a type of player. He's not a special player, but like he doesn't make mistakes. He's a sound tackler, and he's always where he needs to be on the field. And players like that, when you have a coaching staff like we have, it's hard to convince that staff to say, hey, put the more talented younger guy out there because the minute he makes a mistake, the coach is going to be like, oh, see, look, he's not ready.
Yeah, I say, the more fundamentally sound, the fundamentally sound guy is good to have. But I think the guy who blows up plays like Malik, I think Malik is going to be one of those ones who just goes in fearless, just thumping people left and right.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, both of them, they need work in their pass coverage. I think, we saw that against the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't do too well against the pass coverage. But, I mean, they've had an entire offseason to improve. I'm pretty sure the coaches brought it up like, hey, man, we need you to be able to cover the tight ends here. We need you to be able to cover, sometimes in the zone against the slot or something along those lines. Especially when it comes to week 2 coming up, we're going to be facing some monsters out there. And I think he's going to need to be able to play his zone pretty well. But I think, honestly, if we talking, just linebackers in general, when we talk to the outside, I'm excited what Tyus Bowser is going to bring to the table this year, because he was one of the better covered linebackers last year. He just played the zone so well. It was just, he was at home. The second, he be on the line acting like he's on a blitz, and boom, he's playing the flats. I was like, wow, flats pretty good. I'm like, look at this guy.
Yeah, Tyus Bowser is another one that had a first round grade from a lot of people when he came out as well. A little underwhelming since then, but now he has a big opportunity to show what he can really do. Yeah,
and for me initially, I couldn't see the difference. But I guess, should I say the difference? It was hard to tell that Tim Williams and Tyus Bowser's play apart initially, and I was like wondering why John Harbaugh was chewing their butt so bad, I think he knew what the potential was with Bowser, and I think he was just kind of like, all right, look, Williams, this is your time to either show up or get out of here.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Tim had another offseason, another chance to shine, and he didn't get that. And of course, Green Bay was like, okay, we'll take advantage of this. We'll go ahead and move him over here with us.
Yeah, it didn't really work out for him in Green Bay either. Look, some guys like Tim Williams was real talented, but. Yeah. It takes more talent to make it in NFL. You got to have that drive. You got to have that work ethic. And I feel like maybe that wasn't Tim Williams' thing. You know what I mean?
I wish I had been a fly on the wall, just like sitting there, like, on the sideline, just kind of listening in on those conversations of what he was missing. Because you want to see those things, and that way you get, talk about them and see what's going to be in the next like draft prospect or even undrafted free agent, what they bring to camp. So I'm excited what Bowser's going to do. And with 6 different outside, linebackers, rushing, I'm like, who's going to get home? I'm excited to see which one of these guys is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be like Hayes, though. I think Hayes is going to be that dude.
Dalen Hayes, yeah. I like his play too. Guys, so what's good, man? What's up with you?
Yeah. And then Cam Huey pronounced Camway. Sorry, Camway is here. He said go Trent Brown. Godson said, what's up? Okay, Tim Williams had Canway has a comment here. It says Tim Williams wasn't good against the run.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, but hopefully his career works out for him. And you saw that against San Francisco. I think that's why John was just like, that's it, y'all gone. They just weren't. They didn't have lane discipline at the time. They were just over adjusting on the outside, and they weren't sealing that edge off, and they were just allowing the cutback to come straight through, and that's when those running backs for San Francisco breeding them just completely just monsters. I mean, just beasts all the way through the house. So I think as long as we have the big boys on the line now, like I said, with Matabike over there handling business next to Cameron and all that, not much is going to get through. I think Jacobs is in for a long punishing night as long as those holes are clogged.
I just don't see the Raiders doing a whole lot this game, man. Like, I don't see much improvement on the defense from last year. They're awful. I know they got that one safety. I can't remember his name. I know they drafted him. Morig, yeah. I think he's going to be good. Yeah. But just the defensive unit as a collective, they just don't play well. I'm not sure if that's a tribute to the coaching staff or what, but a new season, first game of the year, we got, you can't take any opponent lightly, but I feel like
what about Gus Bradley though? I mean, Gus Bradley came over from the Chargers, and he bringing that same scheme he had with those guys. That's the guy who stopped Lamar in the playoffs back when I think it was 2018. Yeah.
Sure, in his rookie year, but I mean they weren't good last year either. the Chargers. Yeah. But they did have a lot of injuries, for being fair. But completely different Lamar now. Completely different Lamar. Completely different offense. I mean, we don't even have Marty Morningwig here anymore, who really limited Lamar. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems in that game.
Yeah, I think Marty he didn't know exactly what to do once they changed everything up offensively and focused more on the ground game.
Yes.
I think Giro by himself versus Gus is mine and the lack of personnel now, because he doesn't have the same personnel he had. Or there's no Bosa's, there's no beast safety out there that is holding down the center of the field. I think it's gonna be different. He's gonna try. I think he might try the same formations to see what works, especially with the unsure run game. We'll say right now. I think Tyson he looks good. It works well because that's what he used to run in college. These same formations, at least what it was last year. But I'm like, is it going to work this Sunday or this Monday night against this scheme? So there's so many unanswered questions. We're just like, all right, what we don't know is what we don't know. Right? There's so many unknowns.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm confident in this team. Like I know, me and B, like we're really critical of the team only because we think they're close to having everything they need to win the Super Bowl. So like we want to see them make those extra moves that'll put them over the top. But in terms of like the regular season, man, we have no doubts about this team. I think, like I said, like a team like the Raiders, there's no question in my mind we're gonna win that game. Yeah. Now the week after, that's the one got worried about.
I'm like, why week 2? Can you give us like week 7? Let us get us training wheels underneath us, Okay.
I know. It's so early in the season, man. I hate to see it, but maybe that might play to our advantage that, maybe they're a little rusty or, because they have a reconstructed O-line, which looks good on paper. Like their O-line does look good, but, maybe they're not quite gelled just yet, and we can take advantage of that. So
I think John Harbaugh and them got plenty of tape on little Zeus Jr. there, and they know how to exploit him as a tackle. So
yeah, maybe it might be the case. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. That's gonna be an interesting game. But I'm gonna enjoy this Monday night game thoroughly. Bold predictions, 5 touchdowns for Lamar. That could happen.
Good God.
12 sacks by defense. Man, I was.
What is this, Tennessee we playing back 2 years ago?
When was the last time? I don't think that's ever happened. 12 sacks in a game.
I think we got 11 against the Titans back in 18, I believe.
Yeah.
So, with Owe there, that guy's just got that speed. And there was a play against the Saints when he just it was kind of weird because he goes running after the guy. He's got him dead to rights. So he just like, he jumps up big. He probably should just finish through the tackle.
But those are the things that, he's a rookie and he's going to make some mistakes like that. Mm-hmm. You just got to teach him, coach him up, say, hey, look, this is what you got to do next time. Is Harbaugh going to allow him to do that? Or does he see plays like that and say, all right, he's not ready. All right, Houston gets more snaps, or Penelope Fee gets more snaps now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those are the things where you got to say, hey, he's going to play like a rookie at times. We got to deal with it, and he'll grow from that.
For real. So Devin has a good question here. Check that out.
You guys think it's more targets Monday, Hollywood or Sammy? Hollywood. Lamar has a rapport with Hollywood, Sammy will I think he'll get a good amount, but I think Hollywood's definitely I think Lamar and Hollywood, they've trained hard together the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. They're good friends, and I think they both want to have the best years they've ever had in the league this year. Like, they both look like they are focused. They're locked in this year.
Oh, yeah. Just seeing them during the offseason, seeing the extra work, because I think, Hollywood put in a lot of work last year. You can see it on his Instagram. He was just running hills constantly, working on explosion. And I think, this year, I think they built upon that. And honestly, I feel like some of those drills, they might have hurt some hamstrings and stuff, but that's just tightening it up. And I saw the history of, like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, all of them, as they worked on their explosion, worked on those chair route drills and stuff like that. Yeah, they all ended up having hurt hamstrings. Even Tyreek this offseason, he ended up hurting his hamstring. But that's just, it's risk and reward with those Twitch type players. But I think, with how Lamar is, he likes to slot players. I think Sammy Watkins and Willie Snead, they work the inside pretty well. And so I think, Sammy can work the inside and become a decent target of Lamar, as a surprise target, we'll say.
Sure.
But I think, the best friend relationship, them hanging out with gas stations, it probably means something there.
Absolutely. And, and his cousin just went off on Thursday night. So, he's going to want to match his cousin's intensity.
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe I had AB sitting on the bench. I had him on the bench in fantasy. I was so mad. I'm like, what in the world?
It's that's the hard thing, right? Because they have three. I think Tampa has 3 top 10 wide receivers on that team easily. Yeah. Right, AB, Goodwin, and Mike Evans.
I was looking at the reports. And they said that Tom Brady views AB as his number one.
Sure.
I should have listened to that one. It should have been something right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hang on right quick? I hear an oven going off. Like
Something. It might be my girl's in the kitchen.
yeah, that was definitely my shepherd pie going off. Hang on one second.
All right, while he's gone, make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button. All right, he's on the road to 1,000 subscribers. If you're new here for the first time, hit that like button and subscribe to my man. He puts out dope content, so make sure you're hitting him up. He's also on Twitter. I'm sure he'll plug his stuff, but also you can follow us. Me and my brother, we do a show every Wednesday night, lunch break hot take. All right, and you look down there, you can see our Twitter handle, LBHT Show. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. All right.
Dude, who in the world puts a daggone shepherd's pie in the oven and just leaves the house on time? Oh my God. What's going on?
You good over there? You freezing up a little bit.
I gotta gather myself. Whew. Okay, I'm here, man.
Okay.
And left the house and dropped my daughter off somewhere. And then it just sends me a text.
And say, oh, hey, by the way.
I'm here for beef, and I'm like, that sounds like something. All right, so what are we talking about? Let's see. Hollywood Bateman. I think that, I think, yeah, Bateman. Actually, that's another. Let's put that one up there real quick.
Do you think we will see Hollywood in the slot more this year when Bateman comes back? Yes, I do. And I think he's going to eat up those defenses in the slot.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm hoping, one thing I loved about Lamar's game is that it kind of mimics how Brady was in New England. So, like Lamar loved his slot players, loves his tight ends. Just Brady loved his slot players and loved his tight ends. And the wide receivers on the outside didn't do that much. I mean, we saw what happened with Boykin. Boykin just didn't eat as much as Lamar. When he comes out, he's looking at his tight ends, and he's looking at his best friend.
Yeah.
And then whoever's in the slot is playing. So with Duvernay, Prochet, with Hollywood, those guys are going to be the ones that eat. And Watkins, I think they're going to use Watkins in the slot like they use him in Kansas City. And I think they're going to eat a lot more than Rashard. I think Rashard's still going to get his, don't get me wrong. But I see a difference in Lamar and Tyler Huntley when it comes to those two.
Yeah, the thing about playing on the outside, man, like you have to be, Boykin was fine at times. Mm-hmm. I think one, I'm not a big fan of Greg Roman, man. I just don't think his offenses are really open up the playbook like that for Lamar to even try to make those throws on a consistent basis. So there'll be times he will throw it to the outside, and if they don't complete the pass, or it's a drop pass or just miscommunication or whatever, you don't see them go back to it. Whereas if you watch Kansas City, like it can be a drop pass. Like I remember when they beat Houston, they were down like 28 points in the first half, and everybody was dropping passes, but they didn't stop what they were doing. They're like, we're going to run it back, and it's going to work. And it did work. Like we need to have that same confidence in our passing game.
Yeah, just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Against Kansas City, first drive, and the ball, running the ball. Back to you were successful on the ground. Yeah. Why are you trying to compete with this guy? Like, don't compete with Pat because we're not going to win. Pat Mahomes in the air. You do what you do. You do what you know.
Yes, play your game. Play your game.
And the thing is, Tom, every time he's coming into play, if they go 30 minutes of time possession, they take in the W. It's easy.
Yeah.
Then they go to that city, it drops by 10 minutes because they sitting there trying to play a shootout game. I'm like, no, play your game, maneuver the ball down the field.
But because they understand, right? With Kansas City, they're going to score points. I mean, that's just what it is. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to slow them. You can slow them down. You're not going to be able to stop them. They're going to get touchdowns, right? And that's the thing. When we get behind, they're afraid of doing what we do. Like we built a run game.
Yeah.
We built a run game, and we abandoned it way too early in big games. If that's what your offense is going to be about, then you have to commit to it, no matter what. And with Kansas City, they know, okay, we go down a touchdown or two, we could fall behind, so let's start passing. And if that's how you feel, then you have to start practicing passing more, implement more passing schemes, so we don't know, we don't act like we don't know what we're doing out there. Because I said it last year. I said it looked like at times we never practiced those plays that we were running. No.
They said they're in panic mode, and I think they have to, they have to do what they was doing this offseason. You saw a lot more passing opportunities on those Thursdays whenever those videos would come out, where it's A Simply One or whatever, AS1 Simply.
Simply AS10. Simply AS10.
Yeah, Simply AS10. Yeah, like he just always putting the content out, and it was all you would see is just air attack, air raid, all this. And I just saw a difference honestly between Lamar and Huntley. Lamar would be more the interior. Let's hit up the tight ends and let's get these slot receivers. And then Huntley was just like, hey, bombs away outside deep. And I loved it. I was like, dude, this guy's awesome. And put the two together, we got an MVP right there. Another MVP. I want to see Lamar be able to hit the outside and use those plays during the game, and not just whenever they're in panic mode. We got to be able to see him use like the deep threat of I guess the deep right side of the field with Hollywood. We want to be able to see that get down. I mean, it looks like to the left side of the field deep. It looks like Lamar's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think he does it well at the right side too. I honestly think I think Lamar, because I watched him in Louisville too. I think Lamar can make any throw. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of this coaching staff having more confidence and just knowing what they're doing. Like this, I mean, there's a lot of questions about Greg Roman's coaching style, and that was way before he even came to Baltimore. This goes back to San Francisco, right? Like he's viewed as an incomplete coordinator. Like he's more of a run game coordinator.
I remember him just constantly. It was like the same play over and over again. It was play action to the tight end. And I was like, oh, okay, well, Baltimore hadn't caught on to this. I don't know why, but I'm seeing this same, everything was going across the middle. Nothing was going deep down the sidelines. He gets to Buffalo, and that was when he improved his game because Sammy was there, because they could actually throw the ball deep and throw it on the road. Tyrod wasn't scared to just put it out there deep like that. And then somehow his game.
But even that year when Sammy went off, like people forget, Sammy he had to speak out about it. Say, look, they're not using me nearly enough. He had to make some noise about it, and then they're like, okay, look, we did spend a first round pick on him. Like we got to use him more. So even then,
honestly, I thought that was a shot at Tyrod initially. I was like, is he shooting at Tyrod? But then I recognized it was a shot at the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is cool. Engraven is in the house. Oh, what's going on? Let's go ahead and get this man on here. Let's see here. Hey, Graven, follow this link, man. I'm going to put you in the room. Yeah. So I'm thinking, what killed me is when Roman got fired on the night that they put up 37 points as the offense in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was just, that was honestly, that was Rex Ryan looking for a scapegoat because he knew his job was on the line.
I remember that. Yep.
Definitely scapegoat time right there. It was crazy. Let's see what Canway says here. He says T. Martin,
Keith Washington should help Greg with the concepts. I think, look, I hope these guys really make an impact on this team, but I think we're putting way too much pressure on position coaches, man. All right. Like I hope they do a good job in developing these wide receivers, but we shouldn't be expecting them to turn this offense all the way around. It's not their job. It's Greg Roman's job.
Oh yeah, but I think that they need to be more vocal than David Culley was when it came to the offensive game plan for that.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
He went in there and he just kind of was a yes man, like, all right, yeah, cool, that sounds good. He's like, no, we're gonna run it 40 times a game. Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I'm like, and that's what kills me is how did he get a job? How did he end up getting the Houston Texans job when you didn't even fight to improve your wide receivers in Baltimore?
I think I'll tell you why, because like you were saying before, like, he was just being a yes guy. He was cooperating, and right now, Houston's just a toxic place. I think Houston was having. I mean, they're having an image problem. They're having problems internally. They're having all kinds of issues, and I think that was a place where, in that circle, the circle of coaches, it was like, yo, you don't want to go there, and they were having trouble finding somebody to take that job. And Cully said, yeah, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, it just kind of threw me off because I'm like, Eric Bieniemy is sitting right there. This guy could go in, make changes. I'm not sure what his leadership style is, but I do know his offensive mind. And it's amazing, for him to take a guy, and no diss to Pat Mahomes, but fundamentally, the things that Pat Mahomes does is what coaches actually kick quarterbacks off to the sidelines for. Like, dude, you're running across one side and you're throwing back cross body. Like, that's just wrong. That's dead wrong. Coach, like, no, don't you ever. And like John Gruden would have been like, no, take a walk. You get out of here.
But he makes those throws. That's why he gets away with them. If he was throwing picks, yeah.
But like the enemy would be able to come through and make something like that out of, let's say, even a Tyrod.
Yeah, and I know Bieniemy. I think he did interview with them, but I think the issue. I don't think Bieniemy would have taken that job if they offered it to him. I wouldn't if I'm Bieniemy, right? Yeah. Like don't just take any job, right? Yeah. Set yourself up for success. David Culley ain't nothing but a placeholder till Houston gets who you. Yep, absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely. And I think Cully knows that too. I think that's just him, putting something on his resume. Hey, I have experience as a head coach, and you got to do that. You got to do those things. I understand why coaches do it. Coaches like David Culley, otherwise probably wouldn't be offered a head coaching job. So this is an opportunity for him to put something out there, and maybe an opportunity down the road arises, whether it's in the NFL or even maybe college. So I totally get it.
There were so many better choices of coaches. And they just went with him. I was like, something is definitely wrong in Houston. It's just a toxic spot. Everything that can go wrong in that place is going really wrong. I'm hoping Tyrod can go in there and just show the leadership, show the experience, and be able to go and be like he was when he was in Buffalo, when that team didn't have any direction. Because Rex Ryan did not pick up an offensive playbook for nothing in the world. I mean, he just wanted to stick with what he knew was what his defense was and tried to manage the offense, peek in periodically, and then do a little cussing and talk about get some snacks. But he did not know how to lead a full team. I think if you go hire Rex right now as a defense coordinator, dude will blow it up. He'll be amazing. And sometimes people just can't make that transition. Like with that dude, what's his name in New York? Is it Salas? Something like that.
Salas, yeah. Ray Salas, yeah, something like that.
He's a guy who can run a defense. And we're going to find out if he can run an offense, because you have to be able to balance both or whatever. So I do like how Baltimore went and got got a special teams coach to run a team, because you don't necessarily have to have your focus on both or whatever in order to do that. You're just looking at the best players for your position, but you're scouting every single player on the field at the same time. So you figure out how it goes. But I like how they pick players like that, or pick coaches like that for their teams, because it works out a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
So even Brian Billick was amazing offensive coordinator when he came to Minnesota. He comes to Baltimore. I mean, he was kind of his message got stale. It got a little old. He won us a championship, but that was Nolan and Singletary's defense that they were. Yeah,
Billick got too full of himself, man, and he got this. Look, when you win a Super Bowl, you're gonna have more control. You're gonna have more power, right?
Yeah.
And after they won a Super Bowl, they couldn't tell him anything. So he wasted prime years with Kyle Bowler there, or prime years of our defense with Kyle Bowler. Mm-hmm. And had they just gotten a solid quarterback during that time, we probably would have won at least one more Super Bowl. I'm thinking 2 more Super Bowls.
I can't remember who was the offensive coordinator for the Ravens when Kyle Bowler was there.
I don't remember either. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who it was. But the thing was, Kyle came from Cal.
Yes.
Kyle came from Cal, yeah. He came from Cal, and they were setting passing records over there. I think he was just before Aaron Rodgers came to the helm, and he was setting passing records over there. So I thought for sure that they would open it up with him. They were trying to use him to run a West Coast offense, and it just wasn't working out. This guy was a guy who wanted to open it up like crazy.
Yeah.
He never gave those opportunities, or the wide receivers for that matter. I mean, so much.
Kyle was everything bad that you see in a quarterback, man. Not accurate, poor decision making. no pocket presence, and like he had this fumbling problem that used to drive me crazy. No one would touch him. He'll just run and just drop the ball.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he'll snap the ball back up and just fall down. Nobody touch him. He just fall down. And it's like do you not have balance? Like you just like is your equilibrium off? Like what's going on with you, man? Like it's just so many things bad with him. But he stayed the starter for way too long.
Yeah, Todd Heap and Stover, they ate off of that guy.
Yeah, they did.
That's why I say I like Joe Flacco. Tucker ate off of him.
Yeah,
the greatest kicker of all time because I mean Joe Flacco has some of those tendencies as well, but not the fumbling issue, but just sometimes like tentative on third down, taking the sack type of deal.
Yeah,
after he's bombed it to make it down past the 30-yard line, of course, so put him in field goal range, and then Tucker's like, "It's go time." Oh, wait a minute, hey, we didn't even call it. Fine. Just go. Just go, Tucker. You're already out there. I think Baltimore, though, I think if they can get more passes to the outside, just a little bit more, working more on the outside game to just level things out.
I agree.
Yeah, it's going to be straight. It's going to be something to see this year. And I'm excited about Bateman. I have watched him, and like I said, I don't know if you watched that video I put together of comparisons with him and Julio Jones. But I put a tape together just showing the things that Bateman did in college and some of the things that Julio did at his level in his prime. And there were some a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So the toughness going up for the catch. I mean, just simply, mossing his opponent. And this is before we even saw what he did against Humphreys. Against Marlon Humphrey. He was sitting there doing things to him on the field. And I was like, okay, wait till they get pads on. I was right. Once they got pads on, things slowed up a bit. But
it's practice, and like I said, I hope he turns into a really good wide receiver. I don't think he'll ever be Julio Jones. There's only a handful of wide receivers that ever be as good as Julio Jones. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to compare players to great players. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he doesn't have to be Julio Jones. He just has to be good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm seeing tendencies to be something along those lines. It's not very joke. I was like, hey, we got Julio at home, but it's like kind of like the burger your uncle makes versus McDonald's,
Right. Yeah.
I was like, but the burger your uncle makes is pretty daggone good burger. It's just it ain't making these. You ain't got the special sauce. You got 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. You ain't got that, But we got a good burger at home to start with. So I think he's going to be pretty solid. I'm so excited about that Denver game. I'm thinking just driving down the road,
Hey.
I'm in Nebraska, so it's about 7 hours. Man,
cool.
Driving down 7 hours and head to that game at the Mile High. That would just be so cool. That'd be my second game I've gone to in that stadium. I went to the Arizona Cardinals against the Broncos, and that was an exciting game. I was a little scared because they kind of treated some fans pretty badly in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this girl, she wore a Ben Roethlisberger jersey. Now, it might have been right around the time that Ben had some allegations. But they poured a beer on this girl's head, spit in her face, put a cigarette out on her jersey. And I'm like, this is my first game. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't wear Ravens colors up in here because it'd probably been going down. Now, I'll go ahead and fess up. I was wearing a little bit of orange and blue because it just felt safe. So
yeah. That's crazy, man. Like, me and B have been to a few games, but we have never seen anything too crazy.
Yeah, ain't great to make the drive.
You can make the drive. Okay, yeah, make the drive.
I think it's a possible thing. I want to just talk to my wife, financial department, and and see if I can make that drive. It would be just be able to see Lamar. I went down and watched him in Kansas City. I was in Falls at the time, and I flew up to Kansas City for the game. That was not this past one with the 1-4. And seeing Lamar juke somebody in person, do a defensive tackle, he's right in front of you. It wasn't even one of the highlights that's been on the MVP, but it was just amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he is faster than I thought. And then when I looked, first time I saw Boykins and Andrew side by side, they look identical in height. And I'm just like, wow, it's like watching two dinosaurs just jog across towards me. I was like, this is amazing. It was a great experience. I was 4 seats away from the field. I think somewhere on the 30-yard line. And right there in front of me the whole game, Justin Tucker is kicking field goals. He's kicking, just practicing the look back. On the play that Lamar did that spin, It was crazy. So I'm sitting on the opposite end of the stadium, and all I see is the whole stadium just got quiet. I saw kind of what I saw. I saw Lamar scrambling, but I couldn't see the rest of it, and the stadium just went blank. I ain't never heard a stadium just like, especially that's the world record stadium for the decibels and all that.
Yeah.
And when they first started that first drive, my ears were, the pressure was really pushing in. And then they went from that to
quiet. There's not a better feeling in the world, man.
Yeah. And I was like, something good had to happen because this whole place quiet. And I see the 7 Ravens fans behind me, probably 2 rows back, and they are just going nuts. They're like, it's like, you know, you hear a pin drop and somebody's like, yeah. I was gone.
Yeah.
But they were some nice fans. They were great fans. They actually did invite me out for some barbecue. Told me where the good barbecue spots were.
Okay.
Even the guy who was doing the smoking of the barbecue. What was it? I can't remember what I had. Brisket.
Brisket.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, I see you in your Ravens gear. Okay, man, I got you covered right here. He puts like one little sliver of brisket in there after I made my order. He's like, oh man, you good, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. I'm like, well, where's no, you good. I'm like, let me rest my order, homeboy. It's like he was just messing with me, but they good people, I like these Kansas City folks. They're good folks.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right, man. Let me hop off though, but appreciate you bringing me on though.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for coming through, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit up the lunch break hot take. Where can they find you?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we're doing TikTok now at LBHT Show, right below me there. And every Wednesday night on our channel, Lunch Break Hot Take. Every Wednesday at 7:15, we do a live show. And be on the lookout. We put out little clips here and there throughout the week sometimes. So yeah, man. And make sure you guys, if you're new here, subscribe to Couch Rider Raven, man. He's putting out dope content. He's on the road to 1,000 subscribers just like us. So subscribe, support him, follow him on Twitter as well.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
All right, bro.
You have a good night.
Take it easy.
See ya. All right, so we'll sum this thing up, folks. When it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football, I'm pumped up. I got the chips. I got the dip. I mean, you probably see it over here in the corner, right? Yeah, it's all down there. We got the chips. We got the dip. Somebody's going to be making queso. Got the boys over the house. We're going to be hanging out, chilling. I'm looking forward to Baltimore continuing that crazy high-scoring games when it comes to the first week of the season. I just want them to have that consistency and make it all the way through the season with high points and scoring with Hollywood Brown doing it big. When it comes to how this game is going to be won, it is going to be won between who stops Darren Waller. If the Ravens can find a way to stop Darren Waller, continue to put pressure on third down, I think Adafe Owe is going to have a nice game. I think Hayes is going to have a breakout game. If you go check out that last post of mine, he has been getting off the line very fast, creating the pressure. I think he's going to be the one that shocks everybody else when he's going to take advantage of the small reps that he does get. I think they got to find a way to stop Darren Waller though. If they go with either having Owe like guarding one-on-one, having Hump after him one-on-one, or Chris Westry, I think any of those are good formulas to be able to stop them, or running zone for that matter, because they run its own defense. Then Waller's going to be coming across all of those zones. What's going on? Was it the Hitman John? What's good, man? He just want to say what's up to everybody in the room. So he said, "Hey, what's going on, people? What's happening, man?" If you got any comments, you want to hop on the show, whatever like that. I got a couple more minutes I can chime in, and there's a link. Actually, I'll just go ahead and place it in again. One more time. Anybody wants to hop on the chat, chat live with me, there is the link. If you want to pop in there, that's cool. For those of you who are in the room and you have not subscribed yet, please do me that part. I got to pass the collection plate around, so go ahead and pass it and say, hey, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. But anyway, let's go back. We're talking about who's going to stop Darren Waller, but also who is going to stop Henry Ruggs. This dude, he is blazing fast, and he knows what to do after the catch. Got jukes out this world. I mean, it's just full on joystick as to what he can do after the catch. People are talking about Hollywood Brown, but this guy's got just as much pitch, just as much speed, and it could be a problem on the back end if we're not careful. So Baltimore, of course, need to create that blitz, have Winks in the kitchen sink, have everybody coming through. I need this to turn into like a Bengals game, like it was the first game of the season, when all the first Ravens versus Bengals game of last season, when the Ravens, all the defensive backs got sacks. That would be lovely. And then I think I want to see just the ground game. I just want to see Tyson Williams blow it up. I just feel like this guy fits with the system. I don't want to see the vets honestly come in here and try and revive their careers. I just don't want to see it happen, because I believe Tyson deserves his shot. He deserves a shot to be a starter with Baltimore, because he showed it during the offseason. There's a reason that the Ravens didn't sign Le'Veon Bell, didn't sign Murray and all these other cats. Well, Murray, he was on another roster, but it was a reason he didn't sign those cats before, because they wanted to see what they have right there. Well, the Hitman John has something here to say. Let's see what he says. With all these injuries, do you think it's going to mess with Lamar's head and make him feel like he doesn't want to run? I don't know. I think that happened to Tyrod for a bit in his time with Greg Roman. I think year one, he just did what he wanted to do, run when he wanted to run, and then he became this pocket passer and kind of messed with his game because he was so timid. He started taking sacks like crazy. I think Lamar is still going to play Lamar ball. He's always said, hey, he's here to play Lamar ball. He's going to play the best way he wants to play. Does he want to become a better passer? Or he wants to prove he wants to become a better passer? Of course. Does he hate running? Does he constantly say he hates running? Yes. But will he run? Oh, absolutely. I think this guy is still going to escape out the pocket and do his thing. I don't think it's going to mess with his game much at all. Let's see who we got here. It says, I am Kamoy 1. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get you in the room. What's happening, man?
It's Camwee, brother. What's going on, man?
Oh,
I've
man.
been following y'all, man, showing y'all all the love I can, man. You and Graven, all y'all brothers down here, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, man, I'm living the dream on top of the world, Camwee. What's good, man? So, sorry, are you in Baltimore, or where are you from?
Nah, I'm from Jersey City. I'm in New Jersey.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, how long you been following the
Since Ray got there, since I was a kid, I was always a big University of Miami fan, still to today.
Yes,
and,
sir.
I just follow him. I mean, you grow up as a Giant fan, and it was like once my cousin he played in the league. He played for the New England Patriots. His name is Dwayne Sabb. He used to play outside linebacker for when Parcells was there. So once he got there, I kind of like. You root for the Giants, but you're not really rooting for the Giants. You're rooting for your family. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't mind me. I'm just riding. I gotta drop something off. But anyway, long story short, I just was like, all right, I'm over here. And then once Ray got there and they changed the name, I was like, this is kind of cool. I'll root for him. But my cousin was still playing. He played until I think Parcells left in 99. What year did he? Not in 99. He didn't leave in. Yeah, I think he left in like 97, I believe, before he went to the Jets. Yeah, around there.
Yeah, so it's long time.
and it's just funny because he stopped playing not because he actually was a free agent. He had played 8 years. He was a free agent. He was going to the Jets, and he had a freak accident. It just reminds me of all the accidents that happened. During practice, he was training, and somebody happened to let their dog loose. And you know how you get startled, so you make a quick cut. So he made a quick cut, and at that time they weren't doing ACLs like they doing now. Yeah. So he blew it out, and then he played a couple years, like played about 4 or 5 years in the Arena League, and then he called it quits. But he played in the Super Bowl when they lost against the Packers and everything like that. So, it was a good time for a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder, did he go Corella DeVille and figure out what type of dog it was and just had a vendetta against the dog for 10 years?
It was a rock. It was a rock. Somebody let the rock out while he was he training. He was up there jogging, and somebody Rockwaller got loose. And when that happened, he made a quick step. I think his foot got caught. And then boom, there it is, and it was done. So, but I mean, he did it.
All right. So, who do you think is going to be the blowout star, the stepping out star coming out on Monday, the breakout star of Monday night?
I gotta believe me. I gotta have faith in my goals here, brother. I'm sorry. I'll tell you, they're gonna break a record with the sacks. Only reason I'm saying this, and I'm gonna tell you why. First off, their line is not as good. Their line was better last year, the Raiders line. Okay. You can't really tell much against the preseason. I mean, I did watch when they played San Francisco. San Francisco mauled them. Yeah. It was just like it wasn't even nothing going on. But on top of that, just the concepts alone. Every time when for some apparent reason, and hopefully it happens again, when Gruden plays against a team that has a similar defense to Baltimore, like Wingcat likes to blitz and whatever. If you look at a past history, he always has a problem. And it's not really Gruden, it's really actually David Carr. Like he's good against the blitz, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like he's a 50% to me when it comes to that. Because he can move, but their offense is really predicated on, it's that West Coast style. So it's like predicated off of short passes, and then they go deep. They're trying to bait you. If you look at how they played, the best example, they played when they almost lost to the Jets last year, when they should have lost to the Jets. That was just a horrible call by I forgot who the defensive coordinator at the time. The one that likes to is it Greg Williams? I forgot his name. They fired him after that game because he was just he's so gun ho, and he was just he always loved the blitz. He used to be the defensive coordinator for the Saints. Yeah. They won the Super Bowl. Yeah. So he's another one that loves the blitz. The Raiders couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle it at all. They were having 100. They were having problems on top of problems. So, and to be honest, we really haven't seen. This is the third time that we faced a new coordinator in the first game of the season. I don't know what I'm not saying Gus Bradley is not a good defensive coordinator. Obviously, he coached a Super Bowl team, but you had dogs over there at Seattle. I don't know what you have at the Raiders. You had you had some dogs at the Chargers, but really at that time, people want to say, well, Lamar can throw the ball. I don't think he can throw the ball. I think the play scheme, the play style was horrible. They didn't want to let him throw the ball into the second half when he was already down. Yeah, like get him an opportunity. Because he did make
a comeback. He made a comeback in the game, and I think all over the yard on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was like that one he threw to the line was a 2D back. I think it was Dixon. Like a deep. I was like, wow, look at that. Yeah. And so the time he dropped, was it to Michael Crabtree right before the 2-1? And I was like, that is a dime to throw the ball. What's going on with they saying he can't? I think it's just a design offense.
Right. So this is the only thing that Gus Bradley, if you want to hang his hat on something, when he was at Seattle, him and Greg Roman have had plenty of battles against each other because he was at San Francisco. Gus Bradley was at Seattle as a defensive coordinator. So they've had they've had a ton of battles between each other. But that concept is not going to work. It's not the same defense. That defense was just different at Seattle. It took some time to build. The secondary was like ridiculous. Yeah. And you had Cam Chancellor and Abram are not the same people. They're not the same player. Cam Chancellor was a monster. He was a linebacker playing strong safety. Oh yeah, I'm not knocking Abram. I'm not taking shots at Abram because I think he would be in a different system. I think he would be a monster of a safety, but he can't. He's susceptible to the pass. Yeah. If you look at all his big hits, guess who he's knocking out? Who that? Stone daggone player. Right. So then what that tell you? You got your head down when you try to hit somebody. You know what I mean? Instead of you mauling and doing it the proper way, you're doing too much.
You're gonna be like Shazier.
Yeah.
So there's another question here.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so another question from Devin. He says, will Marlon stay outside or will he line up on Waller all game? What's your thoughts on that?
I think will Marlon stay outside?
Yeah.
With Ruggs, you got to take. I mean, I would think that Marlon's going to be on Ruggs majority of the time. You can line him up over there, but you could do a bracket coverage on Waller to take him out the game. And then I think we match up against all the receivers.
Yeah.
You could do a good bracket, or you can bring, if Jimmy does play, I don't know if he's going to be active yet because he said he's still questionable.
Still questionable, yeah.
Yeah, if Jimmy plays, then you good to go.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, I would do a bracket coverage every now and then. You wouldn't, sometimes you man up on them, and sometimes you bump them coming off the line. If anything, we know him better than anybody else does.
Yep.
So I don't think he's gonna. I don't think that. I think Waller's gonna have a decent game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be the make or break of that game, because I just think that we're gonna put him in a bad position. I don't think that line is that good, and you going against. And sometimes you can kind of tell a story on the third preseason game how good a team is, because they were out there against San Francisco, and San Francisco, they did them bad. They did them and it wasn't their third team that they were playing. They had a problem, and they didn't have they didn't have their front four out there. They were having a problem. They couldn't move the ball like they wanted to. Mm-hmm. So is that because Jacobs wasn't completely healthy, or is that because because he's still not healthy, even though he's going to play? I don't know if he got turf toe or what type of toe injury he got, but that's going to hurt him, as if he's going to have to make any cuts or anything like that. I don't know, brother. What do you think? What do you think? You think it's going to come down the wall, or?
I think eventually, they're gonna go out there and they're gonna try to, like I said, use the bracket coverage. And if Waller starts to exploit them and finds the small pockets in the zones, then they're gonna call up Humphrey and say, "Hey, look, this is your guy, your man, all games on his hip." It's gonna count the route, and then I think, honestly, they'll figure out that's the way that they should go, and then stick AA on Ruggs. If they stick AA on Ruggs, it's speed. Right. For speed, and as long as it's straight line speed and you got HUD running run nines and you got I think it's going to be just on that portion. Of course, with Tavon in the slot to cancel out Snead, I think that's going to be pretty solid right there as well. Earl will also be in there.
I don't even think Snead is the starting slot. I think it's the guy that played for Clemson. I can't think of his name offhand. I think he's the starting slot though. He's built similar to Julius Edelman and Wes Walker. I can't think of his name, but he was undrafted.
Okay.
And
I'm looking at the depth chart right now. So you got Edwards, you got Ruggs, and Hunter Renfrow. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Renfrow.
Yeah.
So I don't even think. I mean, I'm sure Willie's gonna play, but I don't even think that. The best thing to do against a good tight end like that, you're gonna have to bang him off the line. I really think this is the year that we get back. We can still blitz, but we're gonna be able to get 4-man pressure. I really believe that we'll be able to do that this year. More than ever, especially with the fact that we have Houston, and that it's great to have speed as an outside linebacker, but it's really about just knowing the game. Like Suggs wasn't that fast. Yeah, he just knows the game, and he had an amazing technique. You know what I mean? So it just made everything a lot harder. And that's gonna help is the fact that it should help. Like it should help Ferguson. It's definitely gonna help Campbell. It's definitely gonna help BK. It's gonna help the interior pressure, because that style, that West Coast offense, he's most of the time he's gonna probably do, especially the fact that we like the blitz. It's gonna be like a 3-step drop back. He's not going. And we just got to get Derek Carr. We just got to get him out of his comfort zone.
Man, make Derek nervous, but here we go.
Yeah.
How we gotten just from preseason, because he really did better. That would be a great match. Queen covering one, I think is what he's saying. Covering Waller.
Yeah.
I just think Queen when he is blitzing in the middle, I think his pass coverage is good, but I think having him play diversified, not knowing where he's at, where he's coming from, That's where he makes his money. I think
Totally.
to have him just all day shadowing Waller, it would probably it's not his it's not the number one thing he does. Run stopping, blitzing up the middle, stopping runs in the backfield. That's what I love about Queen. He's just a play disruptor.
Yeah.
And he's just all over the field, sideline to sideline, you see it. But at the same time, I just don't want to shadow him because that takes his explosiveness out the way. What about you? What do you think?
No, I totally agree with you. That's 100%. I think that if he's going, this year is going to be like, it'll be a big year for him. You see, just off that first game against the Saints, you saw like he see it. It's different to him now. It's totally different. Even though again it's preseason, but the Saints, out of all the preseason games, if you really think about it, they were the only ones that were really playing most of their starters, other than Alvin Kamara. They were trying to figure out who's going to be their starting quarterback. They're trying to get their offensive line to gel together, give them some work, and he just sees it differently now. And he even said it like this offseason helped him totally. Other than body changed a little bit, he got a little bit thicker. You know what I mean, more muscle. But he looks explosive, bro. He looks scary. He looks like he you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of a faster version of Luke Kuechly. Like he's seeing it that way.
Yeah, the game slowed down from a bit now.
Yeah, he's definitely seeing it that way. I don't know when he may take over the play calling. Yeah. But Chuck Clark is so smart. I mean, I don't even know if you want to even change
that flow up, huh?
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it, bro.
Yeah, and the thing is if they find a way, they say they do start to do a small transition here and there, the green dot one game to Queen, and then have Washington come in there as that true free safety. Now that's where I can see that transition happen. But of course, it also takes Pat Queen really seeing the books and knowing what everybody needs to be in the play. That's going to happen. Because we do need that thrill, that game-changing playmaker to come into the game. Chuck is going to do what he told. Chuck knows everywhere he's supposed to be, and he knows where he's supposed to be. And of course, if he ain't, if he's stuck in this structured box, there's not going to be any type of growth, we'll say, for the game, or as far as exciting playmaking plays. But but Washington through and be like, I'm a bait him.
You know who would actually also be a good fit because he's scary because he's so good right now and he's still learning the position is Brandon Stevens. He's playing. I mean, he can play. He obviously is a corner. Yeah. They said he was as far as built and size. I was listening to Ryan Mink and I can't think of the other brother's name, but I was listening to their show on the Ravens podcast. Yeah. He's the same size as Jimmy right now. Okay. So, I like that. Think about, and he's fast. You see how fast he's moving. He's moving. If Jimmy can't play, I would not be surprised if they every now and then they throw him on just to impede him, just to slow him down because he can keep up with him in coverage. Like again, they go to brackets. Like if they're trying to go vertical, if you slow him down, Elliott should be back there. Yeah, And as far as Ruggs, it's the same thing. Like, I just don't think I don't think Carr's going to have that type of time to get busy like he wants to. I don't think he's going to have that type of time at all.
No, that line. I think they should just overkill it. Being at the line is not everything it needs to be right now. I still say, hey, don't just try to get pressure with 4. I say just send the kitchen sink. Really overkill, get everybody there. And that's why I think you send Queen, you send Ole, and you say you had the big boys on the line. The monsters come through and just completely crush them, dominate them, let them know like, hey, we the Ravens, we here, and we ready for week 2.
They're gonna get bullied. It's gonna be bully ball because they're a physical team, but they're not physical like we. It's different. It's different than the AFC North, bro.
The only unknown that I'm just curious about, like I said, was Gus Bradley is there, and he's the one that stopped Lamar before. That's the only thing I want to see is if Lamar can beat this guy's 3 safety and I think he's the one that started the double gap exchange. You remember the double gap exchange? So pretty much, once the read is done, those 2 linebackers are shadowing with the quarterback no matter what, and that defensive end crashes in on the running back no matter what. And so that's the double gap exchange that it just it causes problems for quarterbacks, but they don't want to throw.
Revenge tour, bro. It's the revenge tour.
Yeah. He's enjoying the streams. You hear, bro?
Thank you, man. Hey, man. Hit me up on Instagram. Same as I am Cam Wee. Same thing. I do my acting, my music all the time. But I'm a huge Ravens fan, bro.
You acting?
Yeah, I'm actually shooting tomorrow. I wrote my own film. I've been in a few films myself, like as extras, but also like I've gotten like small roles, like on this show called Broad City that was on Comedy Central. Okay. And I was on was it Big Blue? I was on that. But you know, sometimes you gotta make your own ways. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Hey, type it in on the screen. Type it in on the comments too, so people can actually get that information down too.
Yeah, it's called because I'm a martial artist. I grew up doing martial arts all my life, so I said I want to really display it, and you know, God willing, it'll open up some other doors. But my what I just posted up, I am Cam Wee. That's where you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm always on the gram, posting stuff here and there. I'm working on a new album called Left Minded with my music. Yeah, I write everything. So, you know, I'm always on it, man. I'm always going to support y'all brothers, man. I see y'all doing big things. So, you know, I'm always here trying to give as much as I can. You know what I mean?
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you
coming out, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I got to get rolling because the dinner bell has rang a couple times. Yeah, and your business. I don't want your wife up there arguing with you. I mean, I'm over here burning the sugar pie and everything. She's probably sitting here with her arms just, man, as soon as I come to the top of the steps, I've been
I'm about to run to this store for a clothes too, man.
Yeah, man. Well, you take care. I'll talk to you later, all right?
Yes, sir. Be easy.
Be easy, man.
Peace.
Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming through. It has been just an amazing 2 hours. Thanks for so much love. Appreciate all of the love for the Baltimore Ravens and just being able to learn about so many other Ravens and how they're diversified with their acting skills, with their ability to know so much Ravens talent. For the Dallas Cowboy fans that came through out of nowhere, I think that it is awesome to see this community of football. It is back. I'm loving it. Y'all just make sure y'all continue to show us love here for us Ravens YouTube Nation here. Hey, thanks, Engravers, for coming through. Devin, Cam, Don, all of y'all for coming through. I appreciate the love. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Hey, it's 2 class. I got to fade to black and get up out of here, but y'all take care. Peace out.